Hello everyone. Welcome to 2020 LS Electric Virtual Day. Let me introduce myself. My name is Joel Choi and I'm a sales engineer in LS Electric. First of all, I'd like to thank the attendees and the organizers of the webinar for inviting me here today. I also hope that you and your families are doing well and that all of you are in good health. In this session, I would like to introduce you to the arc protection system of LS Electric. Here are the contents of the presentation today. The first part of this presentation, we will learn about arc flash accidents, how does the APS operates, and what kind of advantage are available by using APS applications. Lastly, I will wrap up my presentation by going through some of our supply references. Any questions or comments are very welcome, and I will be happy to get back to you after the presentation as soon as possible. APS is an abbreviation of arc protection system, which is normally applied to a switchgear to protect the electrical equipment resulting from arc flashes. Before moving on, I will show you a short video clip that shows how severe an arc flash can be at an actual site. As you can see, this video has been recorded from the CCTV in an electrical room. The worker in the facility seems to be carrying out maintenance. But due to the defect of the equipment or lack of electrical mechanical interlocking, or maybe operator's mistake, somehow an arc flash explosion occurred and caused harm to the victim. Arc flash accidents are the most severe accident that can happen resulting from a switchgear. And it can cause massive destruction to the electrical system, causing blackouts and taking human lives as well. According to the statistics in the US, 30,000 cases of arc flash incident and 400 casualties are reported annually. In South Korea, 8,500 cases of fire are due to the misuse of electricity, and of those cases, 38% are severe. Until now, the protection of arc flash was limited to protecting human lives by enhancing the structure of the switchgear and preventing the arc to reach the front, back, and lateral side of the switchgear. As a result, the arc will flow to top side of the switchgear, which is a mechanical and structural method for the arc protection. This may save human lives, but as you can see in the picture, one cannot prevent damage to the internal equipment at all. Also, at the bottom left of the picture, you can see the arc energy graph. After an arc flash, the maximum value of the pressure and temperature occurs in 10 to 15 milliseconds. If we assume that the arc flash is protected by the combination of protection relay and the circuit breaker, the trip time will be around 70 to 80 milliseconds, which is too late to extinguish the arc inside the switchgear. The short circuit current value is calculated by the total sum of the impedance in the electrical system, which means the only way to reduce the arc energy is reducing the arcing time. LS Electric is the only company in Korea that successfully developed the world-class APS that can compete with other major players in the market. The image in the slide are our range of APS products. After 3 years of research and development, most of the core technology were self-developed. Ever since the product V1 was launched, this product has been applied to various projects so far. To fulfill the growing demand in the global market, we have recently developed and launched the version 2 APS. LS APS is formed into optic sensors, arc protection relay, or APR, slave unit which extends the optic channels, arc eliminator, and arc eliminator controller. The equipment mentioned can be installed in one single switchgear, making the installation more convenient. I will now explain to you briefly how the APS operates in case of fault current occurs through the single line diagram. As you can see, the arc flash has occurred in the main bus bar. The optic sensor and the CT will now send a signal that bright flash and a huge current has occurred to the APR. The APR will analyze the data with high-speed CPU and output the trip signal through semiconductor optic contacts. This process is around 1.5 milliseconds, whilst the trip signal reaches the main circuit breaker and the arc eliminator instantaneously. The arc eliminator operation speed is much quicker by completing the three-phase short and earthing procedure in 3.5 milliseconds. In other words, because of the short circuit and earthing carried out by the arc eliminator has much more lower impedance value compared to the impedance value of the arcing point, the fault current will flow to the arc eliminator. The circuit breaker operation sequence will take place within 3 to 5 cycles. The incoming VCB will open the circuit and situation will be cleared. During this process, arc energy will be extinguished within 5 milliseconds. Until then, the fault current will remain for 5 milliseconds and will follow through the arc eliminator. Then the main circuit breaker will open the circuit. In the meantime, the actual damage to the switchgear is caused by the existing arc energy as a flash, heat, and pressure. As soon as the arc energy is extinguished, there's no damage resulting from the arc flash. The short circuit current that is remaining in the main circuit is within the durability of the thermal and mechanical stress of the electrical system. Internal arc certified switchgears are commonly applied to ensure the safety of the operator. To optimize the protection for human lives and electrical equipment, arc protection system applications are essential. The comparison of the ordinary switchgear, internal arc tested switchgear, and APS applied switchgear is shown as below in the table. Switchgear without any arc protection is critical for human safety and also for the equipment in the switchgear, whilst the internal arc-tested switchgear can protect human lives, but cannot protect the electrical components inside nor the electrical system. The APS-applied switchgear can protect both human lives and overall electrical system. As you can see in the picture, all the APS components can be installed in one single switchgear, which can protect the incoming and numerous feeders at once. This system has following advantages. First, it has an excellent performance and reliability record. As the first company in Korea, we passed the test from Kerry following the international standards, and we have the arc eliminator solution up to 24 kV. Our arc eliminator operation performance ensured 2 times of arc fault and 10 times of mechanical operation. This performance is equivalent or even superior compared to the other global players in the market. Second, it has a benefit of extendability. One single APS panel can protect 25 panels and can also be installed in the existing substation as well. We can customize the configuration as requested to meet the needs of the customer. I will share you some features of our version 2 APS. First, to meet the global market, we are available in both 50 and 60 Hz frequency. Second, we have a function called OptoLink, which can input a maximum of 3 master-slave grouping. We also can configure section software for the APS operation in a bank system. With this function, it is not necessary to overlap the configuration and can provide protection for multi-power sources. Third, a discrimination function can be set with optic sensors and auxiliary from the circuit breaker. Therefore, depending on where the fault point happens, you can configure the operation of the circuit breaker and the arc eliminator. As a result, you can minimize blackouts. Fourth, as the semiconductor contact that is applied is IGBT-based technology, it can output trip signal without any delay. Lastly, as the forefront as an electrical automation equipment manufacturer, LS Electric developed the APS by applying in our own switchgears and carrying out tests in our own laboratory facility, PT&T. These tests are extremely difficult for other manufacturers to comply with unless they have their own certified test laboratory. This slide demonstrates how we will install the LS APS in the existing switchgear. LS Electric APR will be installed in the LV compartment, and the optic sensor will be installed in each compartment at site. And arc eliminator will be installed in the upper side of the panel accordingly. But it is quite difficult to visualize the advantage of the APS. We will show you some videos of arc reduction by applying the APS in the switchgear. The first video is an arc explosion switchgear with the lateral side opened, tested in 24 kV, 25 Ka. In the second video, you can see that the arc has been reduced dramatically by applying an APS, with the test environment all remaining the same. This is the finalized product with the full set of the MCSG. This is an actual performance test from Kerry. After the test, you can see there is no damage and only some marks caused by the arc can be seen. An APS can be applied in various sectors: power plants, railways, data centers, hospitals, large plants, ships, and etc. This is mostly for the high-end customers that emphasize safety and reliability of electrical systems. Currently, LS Electric has the project reference of IDC, laboratories, and large-scale plants. We are now expanding to other market segments with a more assertive sales marketing. This is the first project reference of LS Electric in K Company in year 2016. This is the single line diagram and the picture of the commissioning test. This is the second project reference, IDC segment of B Company in year 2016. As of 2016 until now, this slide shows the history of LS APS. We have provided our switchgears with the APS for turnkey-based projects and will continuously keep expanding in the future. That brings us to the end of the presentation today. I would like to thank you for your time and your interest. Thank you.